So, in the last episode, I talked about how baby boomers dominate the housing market, holding over 40% of available homes. And with people living longer these days, it doesn't seem like we'll see a lot of turnovers in the real estate market anytime soon. But no worries, with everyone having babies and our population growing, the demand for housing will only increase, right? Unfortunately, that is not the case, and in fact, the opposite is true. The U.S. fertility rate just hit a record low, and it's about to change the housing market in ways few people are talking about, especially in states like Florida. What's happening with the fertility rate in America? The latest data from the CDC shows that the U.S. fertility rate fell to about 1.6 births per woman, well below the replacement level of 2.1. This is the lowest level we've seen in modern history. NBC News reported that births have been declining for more than a decade, driven by factors like economic uncertainty, women delaying marriage, and personal lifestyle choices. Pew Research found that 44% of U.S. adults without children say they aren't likely to have them, a massive shift in attitude compared to previous generations. Even the White House is recognizing this problem, as President Donald Trump and Vice President J.D. Vance are joining the push for more babies, according to Axios. So why does this matter for housing? Fertility rates directly impact long-term housing demand. Fewer children means less demand for large suburban homes designed for growing families, possible oversupply in market heavily built around family-centric communities, and a shift towards smaller homes, multifamily units, and urban living options that cater to child-free adults and aging population. Consider this for a moment. According to the National Association of Realtors, the median age for first-time home buyers have increased to an all-time high of 38 years old in 2024. That's a 31% increase from 29 years old in the 1980s. And while some contributing factors include high home prices, high mortgage rates, student loan debts, and a lack of housing inventory, one of the top contributing factors is also delayed life milestones. Even the NAR agrees that the overall impact on the housing market can be fewer first-time buyers, stagnant home ownership for millennials and Gen Zs, and higher income buyers dominating the housing market, much like the baby boomers I talked about in the last episode. Florida is a fascinating case because, unlike many states, its housing demand isn't driven by birth rates. It's driven by, you guessed it, migration. Retirees and remote workers from high-cost states like New York and California continue to move in. But lower fertility nationwide will still reduce demand for family homes in many Florida suburbs over the next 10 to 20 years. Meanwhile, 55-plus communities, condos, and luxury rentals are likely to see steady growth. Let's talk about some of the long-term impacts a declining population in America might have on the housing market. NAR economists have already noted that demographic shifts, not just interest rates, will shape housing supply and demand in the next decade. Declining fertility could mean possible price softening in family-oriented neighborhoods, which can suppress property values and sink the standard of living in some areas. A stronger focus on adult lifestyle amenities, walkability, and downsized living. And don't forget, the silver tsunami of aging homeowners may inject more housing into the market, causing an oversupply that can far exceed demand. When you're navigating these changes, having a qualified appraiser on your side is critical, because we're not just looking at today's comparable sales. We're analyzing long-term market trends, demographic shifts, and future demand that most buyers and sellers don't think about. An appraiser can help you understand if a neighborhood is likely to hold value or face oversupply. We can identify markets that will benefit from aging populations or in migration, like certain parts of Florida. This level of analysis can be the difference between making a smart investment or overpaying for a property that may or may not appreciate. So, what does all mean if you're a buyer, seller, or investor? Well, understanding this demographic trend is crucial. The housing market isn't just about interest rates and inventory, it's about who will be here to buy the homes tomorrow. Well, hey, I hope this episode encouraged you to start this family sooner, but let me know in the comments, do you think this shift will create opportunities or challenges for Florida real estate? Remember to hit that like button and subscribe to this channel. See you soon.